Okay. So, doing this reading for the collective. I'm working with limited space here, and I hope you can hear me. Make sure my mic is turned up, I suppose. Now, I pre-shuffled. I had some cards jump out at me. These two, I don't know what they are just yet. But, you know, you've had this feeling of shit looming, like, with these two cards I got, the climax of something. And it's going to be like the final straw, the final showdown, the end all be all. There's some drastic last minute changes, and I asked for around this Hallows Eve, Day of the Dead, Day of All Saints type of energy going into November. You know, Scorpio season is always an exposure, and especially with the other alignments and retrogrades and things like that happening, I wanted to know for the collective what is on the horizon. And I get an ace here, and it's almost like a scrap it all, go back to the drawing board type of feeling to me, especially with these two. That Chris Brown New Flame with Usher, it just popped into my head. But I didn't ask about romance. I didn't ask about anything like that. But it's a new spark in your ass. So maybe that is the Ace of Wands. So from the Halloween Oracle deck, we got Vampire, which is emotional intelligence, knowing where to expel your energy and where to pull it back, because people have been siphoning it, and you're say you're giving energy to a situation or a person, and they turn around and utilize your energy elsewhere, that has nothing to do with your highest good or their highest good. It's almost a misuse of energy, time, resources, things of that nature. So emotional intelligence with that Vampire card is really coming in. You can see who is worth the energy and who is just misusing it, coming back to you for more, or who has certain tactics to, it could even be somebody that you're beefing with getting a rise out of you just to absorb the energy that of anger or whatever. It's still an expelling of energy, a transferring of energy, a giving of energy. And I kept seeing the community card pop up, and here we have Spider, which is community and web weaving. So it's talking about you networking, but also looking at your inner circle to see who is misusing your value in their lives. Like they truly don't understand who you are to them or what you're important for. It's a misuse to me. And also showing where you can be more deliberate on where you're actually giving your time and energy. Because up until this point, I mean, it's becoming very evident when you have the naked truth. I mean, you cut all the other bullshit out of the way, you can really see that power was being misused. Energy was being misused. Resources were being misused in your friendship circle. The people that you see every single day, your coworkers, a community that you claim to be involved with. You can come to see that there are personal gains versus collective achievements being done here. So that's the opening for that. I'm gonna set these to the side. I'm working with a crate. You understand? This is organic beginnings. I don't know if you've noticed, but I went back and I deleted damn near every video that I've done prior to this, because that energy that I was in would still resound within my channel, within my association. When people come to my channel, they would see the underdeveloped, a person still working against their shadow versus with it, things of that nature. So I went and scrapped a lot of material that I had so that I could start fresh and start, oh shit, like that. Okay, I get it. So we have underneath this deck the Seven of Wands, and it reminds me of that emotional intelligence card, being able to better guard your energy, your defenses. I just heard defense against the dark arts, like Harry Potter. So, and that's something I wanted to reiterate with my community, is getting better at grounding your energy and protecting it, putting yourself in that bubble of mirrors, putting yourself in that diamond shield, using Metatron's sword around your aura to cut away anything that is not resonant with you. This is a 7, but also what's coming in with this door to personal healing and happiness is a 7, 3 and 4. So 3 to me relates to community. It relates to friendships. It relates to reunions, expansion, communication. It could even relate to a Gemini or a Cancer or a mother figure, or women in your circle that are nurturing, are mothering. I mean, you can't quite explain the connection you have to certain people, because it's just that natural. It's that kindred. It's that automatic. Those are the people that propel you forward, that always have that community, expansion, networking. That's this here with this web weaving and spider card. You could be getting glimmers, flashes of light in your periphery, or dizziness, unexplained dizziness. Also orbs, maybe visible in pictures, or you may start noticing them more, or think you have something in your eye. Be careful around this time, people being under the influence. I got intoxicated with power. Whatever vices that they have, they feel more powerful under them than they do sober. So be careful with that, because people get froggy and they start trying to leap and jump and cross boundaries. So again, with this emotional intelligence, the vampire card, don't let someone get a rise out of you in a community setting or an open event, social. You could even be at work where there's high volume or things of that nature. Don't let other people under the influence affect you to the point where you're giving energy that they don't necessarily deserve. You understand? Like be mindful that a lot of people are coming to you from a space of intoxication, or, like I said, being intoxicated with power or any other vice that they cling to. Stay true to form with the connections that you know are instantaneous, organic, because this Tower and Death card tell me that falsehoods, anything, all these facades and people that you didn't actually know you might have put on a pedestal or felt that they were a certain way or portrayed themselves a certain way, like that shit's gonna be stripped away. It doesn't matter who they are, what position they hold. No one's immune, especially when the tower comes in, followed by death. It's gonna be eye-opening and straight to the point. Who's who and what's what. So let's see. Should I do 9? No, this reading gonna get super long. Let me not. Okay, the door. Card on the bottom is Angel of Balance. It's a 48. That reduces to a 3. Again, when you're in a community setting and you're up against those energies, remain patient with yourself and remain balanced, because the spider doesn't go out hunting for, just to be literal, the spider doesn't go out hunting for prey. It waits until it gets caught up. Okay, so you're going to be guided in a way. And I got this Christmas song about the 3 kings. But it also, I see the 3 pyramids. So it reminds me of that Christian story about, Jesus's birth and the kings being led by a knowing. They followed the North Star, and they were able to find Mary and Joseph and all that. So I don't think you realize where you'll be getting your patience from. It'll be like a calm before the storm, and you'll be the calm in the middle, in the center of it. You're being called to be the calm. So now, this is reiterating what was being spoken with the Tower and the Death card to me. I have the card of attachment. And like I said, whatever somebody was falsely attached to me, this mask that's coming off is this crown that's falling off. Who people think they are or show that they are is illusionary. And that's coming down. And there's victory in that. You know what I mean? That white rose is for purity. So only what will remain will be what needs to. And there's triumph in that. There's authenticity in that. And that's kind of what we're going for. That's always what we're going for. And definitely when things end, new beginnings can come in to fruition. This reminds me of the Ace of Cups here. But I see music, a return to music, a return to writing and painting and drawing, bringing out the child in you, a freedom. Wind song, heart song, things of that nature. Wind song was a fragrance my mom used to wear way back in the day. They still sell it at Family Dollar, mind you. Like it's a nostalgic scent to me. And this is kind of nostalgic in the sense that you'll be able to return to the things that made you you, or the things that you shared with others that you've put down for a while. You can pick them back up. Now is the time for it. You have a clearer sense of, I want to say clear audience, or clear hearing. You can communicate better. Receive information better. Convey messages better. Writing. Being more explanatory, but not having to over-explain yourself, but getting your point across, or the ideas just flow on paper. I told I told my coworker, my friend, I told her I'm gonna buy her a notebook, and I saw in my mind exactly which one it was. So things like that. The sun, it does illuminate. So clear sight. This is to me when your gifts are coming in. Clear audience, clairvoyance, clear sentience, a clear knowing. Uh, be careful not to put yourself first when you're out with friends or family, or in this season especially when you see something and you want to buy it or pick it up and somebody comes to mind. That consideration of others is always okay. Just remember, you know what you have going on, they don't. So when you're out spending money, or just make sure you reserve something for yourself, because you've got bills to take care of, you got other things to pay, and you got to keep your best interests at heart. You may want to go out, or may want to do this or do that or what have you, but any I won't. Negative is not a word I want to keep using, because negative to me and negative to someone else are two different things. So this angel of balance is sticking out to me with this financial constraints, and it's telling me that I see falsehood when it's attached to the money mindset. I don't have enough to buy myself this, and thinking about all the things that you need and feeling like you don't have enough for them. Um, you could be wanting to purchase things for the home, or put away money on the books later on, savings and things of that nature. And the pickings are slim. It looks like, it feels like, and you have a false sense of attachment to that feeling of financial lack or financial scarcity. And it's asking you to have more faith in your financial security with this root chakra, first chakra card here, Archangel Michael. It has nothing to do with who you are, your safety, your security, and your instincts. I mean, it has the falsehood of being undersupplied. That's an old adage. There's an old I keep saying shit. I got idiom. I got all kinds of shit. But it's an old way of feeling and thinking. You're not even in that vibration. You're not attached to that. It's just something that's around you, I feel. It's not yours. So separate yourself from those who feel full of lack and full of financial when people get to complaining about money and complaining about their savings and complaining about what they're spending, and my coffee's cold. Like, you're fine. You're on the path to having what you need. That's the thing. Your needs are met. So therefore you have more than enough. What I want to say is, you have enough and more is coming. You're open to more coming. So keep that in mind, because we have the man holding coin here with the sun. And this is definitely a prosperity card. It's definitely a money card. He looks like Fabio. But it's another 7. Door to personal healing and happiness. So We're definitely looking at you being a stable individual, your finances being stable. And this financial constraints is temporary. It's illusionary. It seems like at the moment it feels or seems as if things will not pan out, or you won't have enough for something. But that's to see where your faith is, and how much, what changes that you make with what you're going to be faced with here. The things that come to you that can block prosperity, the tests, this vampiric energy, that can lead to financial debt, that can lead to deficits, that can lead to all kinds of stuff if you let them make withdrawals on you. You understand? So take reservations of your energy and things of that nature that's being expressed. So now this victory card and the sun, this is a 28 and this is a 1. They're equal in vibration. Just two different, I'm going to say, octaves of it. This pure positive energy is the sun. And this victory card, let you assume it now. Assume that 8 is a number of power, but it can also be a number of destruction. So when I said abuse of power earlier, that's another indication here, to be careful, especially when it comes to with you and another, or you one-on-one with someone else. Your interactions, whether it be you and a child, you and a lover, you and a sibling, you and a coworker, and it's a one-on-one, or you're mutually yoked or evenly yoked in energy and conversation. When you're engaged, like, don't flex your power over another. Just be secure and safe in your own knowing and your own vibration and your own efforts. Okay. So let me see. I'm gonna cut this deck in 3. See what we're getting. Attachments, victory, the sun, financial constraints. Okay. Attachment. Hey, there's an energy here. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. So all this time, right? I'm thinking, okay, what seemed like an open space, and it's like all I gotta do is cut this chain and get loose. You're actually in a box. You're actually boxed into something, or feel that you're boxed into something, like the walls are closing in on a certain situation you feel like you can't get out of, or that something is holding you there, keeping you there. This is where that mirror work, I spoke about that in a Facebook group I'm in, mirror work, and speaking to your higher self, shadow work, if you have it, really confronting yourself in a situation, because there is energy and entities around you. And they could even be attached to people that you associate with in your social circle. And you being associated with them, this entity is feeding off of your energy through them. So be careful. Because you're being drained and don't even know it. And you're trying to figure out why. You really don't know which way it's coming from. But you have to guard yourself. You feel you feel the impact, but you're not for certain where it's coming from. And it's somebody in your inner circle that you still keep ties to, whatever's tied to them, energy wise, entity wise, addiction wise, or what have you, is siphoning your energy. So detach from whatever and whomever you can, so you can get a clear indication when you start to reintroduce people and energy into your life where this depletion is coming from. Victory with collaborating with others, working on projects. It could also be that you're one conveying to others, or someone in your environment, in your work environment or your home environment, friends, community, group. They're looking to you for information or new plans to implement. Your input is valued here, and it has the potential to take on a life of its own and really fill in the gaps. Like, you may have pieces of the puzzle or pieces of information that go in correspondence with someone else's, and it adds to a greater collection of things. And you can make a lot of headway with this, and that's on top of the victory card. So you could also be looked at or noticed or revered for the information, the knowledge, the skills that you actually have. Like, your skill set is valuable to others at this time, because your specification and their area of expertise, it could differ. But at the same time, and it could even be people of different religious backgrounds and things like that. So when it comes to a greater whole, somebody who was Jewish, then somebody who was Hebrew Israelite, then someone who is Christian, and someone who is who doesn't have any, they're more spiritual than religious, they can all come together and share thoughts, ideas, philosophies, and realize that they have a lot in common, or they have a lot to offer each other, and value compounds in that way, because you can take a page from somebody else's book and apply it to the way you do things, because it's still in alignment with the path you're on. That's why religion, to me, the bounds of it don't apply to me, because there's something useful in every different specification or portion of the all oneness that they all contribute collectively. It's a collection. On the Sun card, we have the Two of Cups. So that too, working together in your interpersonal relationships. On top of this victory card, I did say be careful. You don't want to misuse your power, to use it for communicating. Get out of the rut of having to, I don't know, just repeat yourself over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Like, communicate with different messages. As far as your usual style of doing things, there's going to be a change to that, because you may be even attached to that way of being, a way of communicating, way of stating your claim. So get creative, write a poem, put it in a song, chop and screw it on some lyrics, like make a YouTube video with a compilation or a mixture of things that you're trying to convey. Like, reach them in a way that they can understand. Okay, but with the Sun card and the Two of Cups, things are coming into repair mode, and that's because this shit here, like, we're no longer here. This shit is not what we thought it was. We're here. And all that's left is to bring out the best of in each other, within ourselves and with each other. Like, I don't want to keep I don't want to talk to the mask that you wear. I want to talk to the person that I fell in, my spirit fell in love with, that type of thing. Or the person that my spirit resonates with when it comes to kids, when it comes to close friends, siblings, relationship partners, business even. Like, let's get back to the basics. Like, let's strip all this other shit away. It's time to come back together and get on the same accord. Purse strings. You might want to tighten them up a little bit and be more decisive about where you're spending your money, how you're spending your money. Like I was talking about the books earlier. It's time to start. There's a Khan Academy has Khan Academy is a free learning program. I came across it a couple years ago, my friend. But when I went on there, they had all different types of level of math and different sciences and stuff. And it's a place where you can learn these subjects, even when it comes to history and things like that. But they have a YouTube channel where they have different subjects and they break down everything from like government, money, accounting. You can teach yourself basic accounting skills. And it seemed like you learned it from a school or something like that. Once you get down the basics of accounting on a personal note, your finances will be in better standing. You'll have a better edge, a better not only understanding of your assets, your liabilities, your accounts receivable, accounts payable, your equity, just in general. Like, and that will add to, once you can start implementing that energy of managing, even if you're not a manager, you're looked up to, you're revered in some capacity, and people do come to you for your advice. Community, like, you're a person of interest. So once you start to implement your own, you have this status personally, mentally, communicatively, that puts you in a position of authority. Even if it's in your own life, you're taking charge of what is not to your liking, especially when it comes to your value, when it comes to what you value, your account balance, the bills that you have. Like, start putting things in order, even if you're paying off debts or starting to handle things, trying to repair your credit and get things back on an even keel. Stop focusing on what you don't have in your purse to pay. Start making plans about how they can start paying for themselves, or how, this $5 a week or $10 every 2 weeks is going to go towards, let me put this on this, but let me put this on that. Let me, start knocking this shit down. Let me start talking to these folks about settling these accounts. Nah, you want 8,000? I don't think I've got that. 5,000? Nah, I don't think I can do that. The most I can do is this. Oh, okay. You settle for 2,800? I think I'll take it. So start being a little more considerate and a little more conscious and a little more logical about and realistic about the things that you can do, and coming up with those solutions. Is if you're sitting in the I owe this, I owe that, I don't have this, you're going to be stuck there because your emotions are going to be involved in what it feels like to be without. You want to put your mindset in, I'm handling this, I'm paying that, I'm this and that, even if you don't have the money liquidly to pay. This will be taken care of by this time. Or I will address this issue by this time. I will talk to this creditor and let them know I'm willing to work with them, but I'm willing to work with them to call me back around this time when I'll be more able and more At a later date, you may have a more definitive answer or definitive course of action or approach to handling the binds that you felt that are financial. Judgment on top of the root chakra. You've got help coming in. Someone, something is coming to your aid. And that's because you're... Oh, this is an 8 too. What is it? Gotcha. Okay. Your foundation could be challenged as you know it within... Okay, what I want to... How I'm seeing this is you're standing in a company, in a home situation, in a place that you feel stable. It's coming up for deliberation. You may be leaving a job or considering leaving a home or moving. The things that are coming to an end, you're going to get help with. It's just about making the decision. What makes you feel safe, what makes you feel stable, and being assured in that you can't make a wrong decision here. So it's not a time for fear. It's not a time for second guessing yourself. Once you make a decision, you're backed up. Even if it's a decision that takes you the long way around, you'll have the guidance to maneuver it, no matter what obstacles you come up against. So there is no wrong decision here, because what's meant is going to happen intrinsically. It's just going to happen, period. And your ancestors are actually hoping, and they're welcoming it. Just be decisive. Be decisive, no matter what it is. Like, no matter what the situation, no matter what it's about. Once you decide, those things start to churn. I see clock, mechanics of a clock, all the inner wheels and the effects of the clock, the mechanism of it. It's like everything will start to okay, if you've ever seen Harry Potter and the staircases move and they take you somewhere different, it's kind of like that. Once you decide to take a path, then everything shifts and moves in that direction. Okay, so it's like it's almost like it distorts, or it adjusts. Is that a beetle? I'm sorry. It adjusts to whatever the decision that you've made. Like it's definitely about you just sticking to a decision and moving. All you have to do is move your fucking foot, move your ass in that direction. Deja vu. Oh my gosh. So it doesn't even matter what the decision is or what you're deciding on. You're gonna get the definitely gonna get the support. Man holding coin, walking away. I want to get clarity on that though. I already have the message. It's like I'm still shuffling and we tumbled. Okay. Somebody's walking away, right? They don't want to feel stuck anymore. They've kind of just made a decision to move. And that's something I was just talking about, right? Just make the decision. Not just within your spirit, but within your mind and within your actions. Because the hangman, that feeling stuck, that's almost that attachment card, except once you realize you're not out, it's not just this one thing. It's it's bigger than that. You think it's just a chain holding you somewhere. You think it's just a rope around your foot, but then you realize that this tree is inside a warehouse or some shit. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, once I tie myself down, there's still another barrier. There's still another layer to this shit, right? So I got the Seven of Cups reverse, and it's not being jaded. It's not being clouded by, like I said, I had that illusionary energy up here. Not being clouded by that. I got the Seven of Swords kind of taken off. And I said you might be leaving a job or something like that. That could be this Judgment card. It just doesn't work for you anymore. I got the Lovers. That's telling me that you're being faced with a choice of, do I choose what seems sensical, or do I choose what I want? Do I choose me? Do I choose what's best for me, or what seems right to me and to everyone else? Oh, wow. Okay. Queen of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. This could be a love relationship, right? Seven of Pentacles. Eight of Swords. Two of Wands. Underneath the sun in this Two of Pentacles, there's this man holding coin card. If he's not a financier, it's a person definitely looking for their life partner. And I say that because the King and Queen of Pentacles came up. So in this regard, they're evenly yoked. Like say you come up as the King of Swords. That's talking about your mental mastery, the way that you communicate, your decisiveness, how you can be in charge of those rules, those processes, the way which you go about things in a logical, sensible way, cut to the chase. But when it comes up as the King of Pentacles, that's who you are at your financial mastery. That's who you are in your earnings, in your capabilities, in the energy that you exude as a person who is managing their finances or can earn finances very well. Coming up as the Queen of Pentacles, the counterpart, this is somebody that matches your energy, no matter their sign. This is a person that comes up as a counterpart to you. So you can be two kings in one reading, or you can be two queens in one reading, or you can be a King of Swords and be a master communicator and master thinker, logical, and have that mastery of that air energy, but at the same time be soft as a Queen of Pentacles and be nurturing and be receptive in that earth energy. What's tangible, what is can be concrete or proven or seen, liquidated. I'm sorry, you guys. It's chilly out here. Somebody's rattling with bass. Sounds tacky. Anyway. So what, it's just stuff that you don't see coming. A decision has been made, like, I'm moving in this direction. I've gone in when I was saying you cannot make a wrong choice, a person has moved in a specific direction and it did not pan out the way that they'd hoped. And now the only other option is to go in the new direction. Can't make a wrong decision, but on the way you see and encounter things that teach you vital lessons. This is why you chose this route in the first place. So you didn't do it by mistake. You did it And it was actually perfect by design, because now you have more patience. Now you have more understanding. Now you have more information to actually go the route that if you would have taken it initially, you may not have been prepared for it, but was the right decision, and that you either doubted or someone else has doubted this decision or this direction or doing things in a certain way. And it's now, having chose this is where this person has taken their new start, new beginning. Before they're like, okay, this is exhausted, I'm no longer there, because I really feel that it was this. Add this on, that's the 10 of Wands. That's the burden. And that shit is overrated. It's over with. And I'm done with it. Now I can have this new ass beginning. And I'm choosing with this 2 here. I'm choosing to go in a way that will expand me spiritually, emotionally, mentally. Because this is no fun. This is no good. It will not suffice. It will not do. And something you already put time and effort into. And it looks like a relationship to me. 7, 8, 9. Financially, energetically, investing, giving, time spent. You've already done so much. Now, when I was talking about investments earlier and money and assets and stuff, you already invested in a specific direction, in a specific way. And you took another course. And therefore, you got stuck there and you felt attached to it, falsely attached to it, because you saw that you weren't just in a state of all I gotta do is just cut this down. Now you hit the floor and you realize that you were inside of a room. You know, that illusion comes down that it was just one aspect of it. It's like you get free from this 8 of Swords and try to go towards whatever sense of freedom, and you realize that there's city limits, or like The Village. There was that outer, in the movie The Village, there was that outer shell around the whole little forest area. They were so separated from society that they thought they were in in a whole nother century or a whole nother era. They had no idea that the whole world around them was so developed. And it's seen that now, okay, that's a mind fuckery right there. That's the mind fuck. Okay. And this person has been through that. And now they have that red hat on. That's knowledge. That's power. That's empowerment going forward. Okay. So this is what we can expect. Somebody to be on your team. You know what I mean? And it's really unbeknownst to everybody else, the changes that are being made. It's not anybody's business. This 7 of Swords is not deceit to me. This 7 of Swords is keeping your fucking mouth shut. You know, leaving it up to them to decide what's going on or be in the dark about. The 2 of Swords here is not confirming or denying either way, because you're avoiding conflict, unnecessary conflict, or jealousies or envy of other people who could be offering these things. So because it's your business, leave the shit show, leave the circus behind. Like, they don't have to know what's going on. It's not for them to know. Moving in the middle of the night, energetically, emotionally, mentally, detaching from situations that you're tired of. You're fucking tired. And you're looking elsewhere, okay? Split the deck. And I got the Hierophant with the Magician. All this red, all this power. People looked up to you, but you have, yeah, all this. You got the key, man. So that's it for this reading. I don't know when I'll be back, but I will be. So I'm gonna get off. It's been 50 fucking minutes, and I need some more coffee. So comment below, share. I did open a PO box. I'm gonna type it in the description box. It's PO Box 91833, Atlanta, Georgia 30364. So I write back, send letters. Snail mail is my thing. I'm a writer. Oh, that goes with that sun card. That's what's up. So I'll see y'all later. Have a great end of month. Hallows Eve, All Saints, and Day of the Dead, introduction to November, just all of that. This next cycle, this new phase that's coming in, just gonna get a lot of shit cleared up and straight. And Scorpio season is all about exposure. So now that, things are exposed, it's about choice. What are your choices? What are you choosing for yourself? Okay. So I wish you all the best, and I'll see you guys later.